I'm Dr. Dina Zoleo, and I'm one of the co-chief CEOs of TWR.
Hi, Tony Ann Broom, co-CEO along with Dr. Zoleo. The Writing Revolution is a nonprofit organization that trains educators and supports partner schools and districts like the Greenburgh Central School District in implementing the Hackman method, which is a method for teaching expository writing. And we've been working with the Greenburgh district for 6 years now. The writing method has been embedded in grades K through 10 at this point, and in time will be K through 12.
Last year, for the first time, we offered a writing contest to our partner schools, and it was to celebrate Black History Month, and it was the first time we did it, and there was about 9 winners last year or so, I think, right? This year?
From Greenburgh, we had 6.
Or 6.
Last year there were 6 winners.
Last year there was 6 winners. This year there was 9 winners because we had the contest again. Last year the contest was only for middle school and up, and this year we dropped down so that we could also include grade 3 and up. And so it's a national contest because we have many partners across the country. 36 schools participated, over 1,100 entries, and the Greenburgh students, once again, just like last year, really were very successful and sort of took every first place category and a bunch of second places and honorable mentions. And so we're very excited to be invited here today to meet the students and their families and their teachers, and we always say it takes a village, and this was really a great opportunity for us to meet.
The way that we judge the student writing samples is through an anonymous process. It's a process where we have a team of people. In this case, we had educators, we had other professionals that volunteered their time to participate in the judging process. They look at the samples. Again, they're anonymous, so student names, grades, schools, even regions are not on there, and they take a look at them holistically to see overall the quality of the writing. The beauty of the process is that it's anonymous, and also that when we look at any one writing sample, we're not just looking at it one time. The judges looked at every student sample at least 10 times. So we had over 10,000 judgments that were done of over 1,000 student writing samples, again, from across 36 schools, and across the board, the Greenburgh Central School District did fantastic. The writing strategies were screaming off the page. It was very, very evident that they have been doing this for a while, but it goes just beyond the TWR strategies. It was the subjects that the students chose, the thought that went into their pieces. They were so informative, very, very inspiring. Our volunteers and our educators that helped in the process said they were so moved by the samples, and we learned a lot too.
Yes.
So.
My name is Janelle Woodward. I'm in 7th grade, and I wrote about Dr. Macy Jemison. Macy Jemison, a retired African-American astronaut, was the first Black woman in space and gives me faith for a better future. During the time Mae Jemison worked there, people at NASA weren't as accepting to African-Americans as they are now. Because multiple workers thought she couldn't be as successful, they looked down on her and other women at the laboratory. However, she proved them all wrong on September 12, 1992, when she became the first Black woman to ever go to space. Since this was a major turning point in history, Mae Jemison proved to the world that women and African Americans could do anything males or white people can do just as well, maybe even better. Did you know that Mae Jemison was not just an astronaut? In addition to working at NASA, she is also an engineer, doctor, and scientist. Later, in March 1993, she left NASA to pursue her love for STEM and continues to support Black women in that field to this day. In closing, Mae Jemison inspires me to work hard and reach for the stars like she did. Mae Jemison is one of my heroes.
Hi, my name is Kaden Victoria, and this is my paragraph about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights activist, gave me hope for a better tomorrow because he was persistent and did not give up on his dream. For example, in his speech, "I Have a Dream," he expressed that he wanted equal rights for all people, no matter their race, for an improved future. In addition, when Rosa Parks was wrongfully imprisoned, he fought for her rights and demonstrated he won't allow it to happen again. Additionally, Martin embraced non-violence because he knew more violence would only make worse the violence and hatred between whites and blacks, and he wanted to stop all that. Furthermore, since Yolanda King, MLK's granddaughter, followed in her grandfather's footsteps, that gives me hope, because if one person can follow in his footsteps, That means others can follow in his footsteps too and eventually reach his goal. In conclusion, since he persevered and never gave up on his vision, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gives me hope for a better future. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is one of my heroes.
My name is Peron, and I wrote about Jimi Hendrix. The work of Jimi Hendrix, an impressive guitarist, constantly gives inspiration to countless other Black artists and musicians. Although his career was cut short when he died, Hendrix's life as a Black artist playing a variety of different genres influenced the genres and music styles of several Black artists to come. For example, Lenny Kravitz and Prince both play songs and guitar techniques inspired by Jimi Hendrix. Additionally, Jimi is so uplifting because his entire career as a musician, he navigated his way through a world of white-dominated music. Although it is true that the rock genre was born from Black music, its creation is credited to white musicians. As a result, Jimi was accused of copying white artists. He had to work twice as hard to become known in a genre rooted in music from his own people. Moreover, Jimi Hendrix created the guitar techniques and styles used by almost every guitarist today. His use of fuzz, feedback, and controlled distortion on the electric guitar revolutionized the modern musical form. Finally, Jimi influences me as a left-handed guitarist. Left-handed guitars are hard to come by, but that didn't stop him. Jimi just restrung his guitar and played it upside down. This inspires me to keep playing guitar and learn the skills to play as extraordinarily as him. Therefore, to this day, Jimi Hendrix continues to spread inspiration and better representation for Black musicians. Jimi Hendrix is one of my heroes.
Hi, my name is Jake Morton, and I wrote about my teacher, my history teacher for that, Mr. Holland. So, Mandel Holland, a high-level history course teacher, is an inspiration to me and many other students. He grew up in the 1970s and 1980s in Harlem, getting an education from his local school. In alternative to the general, however unfortunate connotation with Black Harlem young men, Holland received a credible and diverse education, especially while attending Woodlands High School. Later, he would go on to advance onto a university education via New York University. After graduation, he found his preferred profession, teaching. Thus, he pursued advanced certification to become a high school level educator. Holland utilized his previous experience of Harlem teaching to command respect in the classroom, a challenge for many other educators. During class time, he conducts impactful lectures that compel students to maximize their learning. The phrases that he uses, along with the stories that he describes, are inspiring to many children. In my opinion, his lessons help me know more about the world. Yet, that does not conclude his positive impact that he has inflicted onto me. Conversating alongside him in extracurricular activities is ever more inspiring. He remains standing as a motivational figure for every student. With the wisdom that he speaks, pieced with the context of his character, Mr. Holland is an inspiring figure to the entire world. Mr. Holland is one of my heroes.
My name is Diane Manuel, and I wrote about Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges, an extremely brave woman and civil rights activist, was the first ever African American to desegregate an all-white elementary school. On November 14, 1960, Ruby Bridges attended the all-white William Frantz Elementary School at the age of 6 years old. Since Ruby Bridges was an African American, the irritated parents of the white students at the elementary school had taken out their own children. Thus, Ruby had to be taught by a teacher named Barbara Henry privately for an entire year. While all the parents and students expressed insults, threats, and racist comments towards Ruby, she continued to keep her head high. As a result of Ruby's braveness, schools all around the globe are diverse and a more welcoming community. Presently, Ruby Bridges, at the age of 68 years old, is a civil rights activist for racial equality. In conclusion, although Ruby Bridges received many threats and resentment, she is an inspiration by teaching us that you can be a role model despite your age. Ruby Bridges is my hero.
My name is Sophia Canela. I wrote about Ray Montague. Ray Montague, an African-American woman, is inspiring to me because she overcame challenges to become the first African-American female engineer. Since Ray Montague lived during segregated times, she and other African-American women got treated unfairly. Although Ray Montague couldn't study engineering, she took all opportunities to be the first African-American female engineer. Even when the people around her didn't believe in her, she worked hard and got promoted. Ray inspires me to work hard, study, and take opportunities. In closing, this shows how Ray Montague is still inspiring me today. Ray Montague is my hero.
My name is Praisenadiri. I wrote about Tomi Adeyemi. She's an author and she's 23. Tomi Adeyemi, a best-selling West African author, has been a tremendous inspiration for me both artistically and personally. Adeyemi, like me, is of Nigerian heritage. Witnessing someone of my exact ethnicity so successful in my aspired career has been extremely motivating for me and gives me hope. Adeyemi introduced me to a side of Nigerian culture I'd never experienced before, Nigerian mythology. This brought me closer to my roots, as well as spread the culture to people who weren't born into it. In addition, Tomi Adeyemi ingrained her belief into her works, which I greatly admire. She indirectly brings awareness to the ongoing struggles of Black Americans in her world building. Finally, Adeyemi is a Harvard graduate with an honors degree in English literature. I see myself in her achievements because English literature is something I'm very interested in and hope to study in the future. In my life, Tomi Adeyemi has proven to be a wonderful role model and source of motivation for me, and Tomi Adeyemi is my hero.